Hi guys, it's Jess. I'm here with the Relationship Reality series again this week. And today I'm going to be talking about relationships and commitment. And so a woman wrote in just this last week with the question, what do I do if my boyfriend doesn't seem excited about moving in together? And so in this case, you guys have been together just under a year, and I get it. You're super excited about the idea of kind of progressing in the relationship and taking it to the next stage, and importantly, wanting to know kind of how do we work together, and is this something that we're going to want to have for the long term? And so for a lot of people, they use moving in as one of those testers to kind of see, okay, is this for real? Is this something that's really going to work? And, something that's so common is really this kind of wanting to move things along can come from such a place of insecurity for a lot of people, and especially women. It's like we kind of almost want this to show us a sign almost of some sort of love, some sort of like, I'm the one. And so if we move in together, that shows that he's really into me. And so if you're noticing that you're bringing up, hey, let's move in together, and he's apprehensive, he's even saying that he's kind of nervous about it. And importantly, if you're noticing that he's not initiating that conversation, he's not bringing that up and wanting to plan about it and talk about it, and he's kind of quiet on his end, and the only time that this comes up is when you bring it up, that's a sign. That's a sign of something. And you've guessed it, that he's not too sure. And what we want to do usually is rush things along. We want to get what we want. We want to feel special. We want to feel good. We want to feel worthy. And so we really want something like this to happen. And more often than not, it's coming from kind of like a place of insecurity and a place of desperation. And so one thing that you really want to focus on is being able to pull back into yourself, right? Because what we're doing here is trying to get some sort of like self-worth or idea of our own value based on what someone else is doing, based on what he's deciding, in this case, moving in with you or not. And so you want to be able to kind of pull back within yourself so that you don't need those sorts of things to be able to validate you. And a really important piece of why you also want to pull back into yourself is because you want to be able to be still enough and together enough, confident enough, and in your power enough to be able to really listen, to be able to really read these signs that you're noticing from him. And it doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't want to move in with you if he doesn't seem excited about it. It just means there's something else kind of going on for him around that. And if we're too much in our own space and we want what we want so badly, we're not taking the time to get to know him and what he really wants. And that down the road can lead to a really big mess. So many people experience that, where they're kind of pushing, whether it's moving in together, marriage, kids, really trying to push those things to happen. And years down the road, noticing that they're playing this particular role all the time of moving, of making things happen, of initiating ideas, initiating dates. And he's kind of not really participating in the way that you want. So you want way back here at the before year mark to start things in a way that's going to set the foundation for a healthy relationship moving forward. And you have to be within yourself enough and your power enough to be able to hear whatever does come your way, even if it is something you don't really want to hear, because you're going to maybe hear something you don't want to hear now. It's going to pay off more in the long run than pushing things through and then finding out years later that it was something kind of more on your end and not necessarily like a co-creation of the type of relationship that you really do want. So that's it for today. For everyone else, keep writing in your questions. I have a couple that I'm working through right now, but I still have room for more. So really excited to kind of hear more of what's really happening for you out there. What are some real problems, some real relationship things that are coming up? Because I really know that everyone else out there is also experiencing these things. And that's why it's so important that we talk about it. So have a wonderful day, and we'll talk again next week.